Hello, everybody. That's just gone 5 o'clock, so I think we'll make a start. So, first of all, thanks very much for everybody coming along. Please bear with us. This is the first time we've really held an online event like this. I'm delighted to have Marlon Firth, the head of guidance at KGS, with us tonight. Kay Hume from SDS is also here, and Derek Aitken from the college, Orkney College. So we're going to go through a number of slides. Marlon, Kay, and Derek will have got their own bits they're going to speak about, and then perhaps at the end we could take any questions that folk might have. Just about housekeeping before we start, if we could ask everybody just to mute the microphones, please, just so there's no background noise as we go through the presentations. So first of all, you'll know already that things are really different this year in all aspects of education, and on options is no different. So we really had to go through the option process online before we really knew when pupils are coming back to school. We're hopeful we'll get some pupils back on the 15th of March, but we've no idea how many or who these pupils will be yet, though we're assuming it's the senior phase. So the object of this presentation is really just to signpost you towards the resources that are available, take any questions you've got, and we'll really take it from there. So first and foremost, really, it's the support that's available to support our young people moving from S3 to S4. There's two presentations that are on the KGS website. Just follow the link on the very front page and it takes you there. And they go into the options process in quite a lot of depth for S3 into S4 pupils. So I decided not to go through these presentations today because I think there's probably too much depth and it's something you can go away and have a flick through when you maybe have got a bit more time. You want to spend a bit more time on each slide. These two presentations are there to support you and your children. There's also copies of the option sheet. So the area we are interested in is the area at the top here, where all the National 4 and 5 courses can be found. And that includes Orkney College courses, and I know Derek will speak about that a bit later. There might be one or two pupils moving into fourth year who may do a higher. Occasionally happens in languages, for example. Somebody's particularly good at languages, and they would have to choose one of the languages courses out of column, for example. And that's the middle row for hires there and advanced hires. But the vast majority of pupils going from S3 to S4, they'll be choosing the topics or the courses they want to do from the top section. The Orkney College brochure is also on the KGS website, and that's got details of all the courses that the college run, and I know Derek will speak a lot more about that in a moment or two. There's also a senior phase option booklet on the KGS website, and this is a flip book and goes into a bit more detail about each of the courses that the schools offer and any entry requirements and things like that. So it's a good place to start if you want more detail about each of the subjects. The option sheet itself, the one that gets filled in and handed in, again for S3 into S4 pupils, relatively straightforward. They really are just listing the subjects in the middle column there, and for most people they'll be writing National 4 or 5 for the level. The reserve subjects are really important because we often do get clashes during the option process. Okay, there's more detailed instructions on some of the presentations I've mentioned earlier. There's been a number of events, or there is a number of events to support parents and pupils. The options themselves opened on Tuesday the 16th last week, and last Friday we had a really successful Teams meet with S3 pupils through Microsoft Teams, Global Microsoft Teams, and that was super because 100 pupils joined that meeting and were able to go through presentations. We didn't take a lot of questions because the pupils are really reticent to ask anything online in front of all their peers, but it was great to see so many turning up. Obviously tonight we've got this meeting, and I know that Marlon's going to speak about support during PSE lessons, the availability of individual appointments from guidance staff, and last but not least is the hand-in date, which is Friday the 12th of March. And the email account there is where we'd like you to complete and send in completed option sheets. And really just a couple of key points to bear in mind. First and foremost, all S4 pupils will sit 6 subjects, and of that 6, only English and Maths are compulsory. However, the subjects should be drawn from the subjects pupils have studied in S3. There is some scope for new subjects. A few new subjects do appear in S4, such as engineering science is one, fashion textiles is another, and all the college courses are there. So maybe a pupil wants to choose a college course and in that case we drop 3 of their S3 subjects rather than 2. All S4 pupils will also study PSE, PE and RMPS as part of their S4 curriculum. As ever with options, there's a lot of, we don't have endless resources to create class upon class, so there may be some clashes. So if there's a clashes in a pupil's options, I'll speak to them, I'll send them home to discuss it with yourself, and only then will we move forward and make decisions. So please be rest assured that we'll always consult pupils and parents if a clash occurs. And really, lastly, principal teacher contact details. I've put that on there because there's a few pupils who might want to say take fashion textiles and haven't done the course before, so they would go and speak to Mr. Woodrow and just get that little bit of advice. And that's the way we're doing options this year, because obviously the pupils normally would speak to staff in school, and we're not able to do that this year. So I've listed all the principal teachers there and their email addresses, so we're really encouraging pupils, if they've got any questions about courses, to either contact their class teacher through Teams or email the principal teachers. Okay, that's the key areas that I was really wanting to go through. There'll be opportunity to ask questions at the end, but now I'm going to hand over to Marlon Firth, who's going to talk about the guidance support that's available.
Hello everybody, can I just extend a really warm welcome to everybody who's come along this evening. It's great to have you here. We would far sooner have your bairns in front of us, I must say, but it's great that you've managed to come along. I want to take the chance to kind of explain to you the kind of different offer that we've got for the bairns this year in terms of their course choice process. Normally we would have lots of stuff going on in PSE to support this process. We'll be working with the careers advisors, and there'll be lots of informal blethers going on with the bairns. They would be popping into the guidance space, they would be speaking to us in the corridors, and we absolutely acknowledge that it is different for them this year, and it's actually much, much harder. What we've done this week is for all the third year classes, the guidance staff, so that's Miss Taylor for the Ironhallow pupils, Mrs. Woods for the Coppensea pupils, and Mr. Berry for the Farah pupils, they've done online lessons with their classes, and they've very carefully gone through the process that they would normally go through in a class to make sure that the bairns are not actually missing out on any key information. We've been really pleased how that's gone this week. The technology worked for us, and where pupils have asked good questions, and the feedback that we've had for them has been pretty successful about that. The next main offer that would come for the guidance staff, and this is a very warm offer, is to encourage your bairns to contact the guidance staff if there is anything that they're unsure of. So what we would want them to do is contact them either through their Glow Teams or just contact them through email, or they can easily phone them here at the school. I'm in the school every day, so I'm happy to take phone calls on behalf of any guidance teacher, and the guidance team are all in at some point across the day, and the admin staff are happy to leave messages. So I really want to say that's a strong offer to please ask the bairns to contact the teachers if there's anything that they're not sure about at all. And that offer very much goes for Marie Phillips too, who's the head of our curriculum support. So if any of your young folk are wondering about curriculum support options, then Marie Phillips is the person to contact in relation to that. But appointments are available for new until the 12th. You can have appointments anytime through the school day. Phone appointments are probably the things that the bairns are most comfortable with, but we would be able to organise Teams appointments if that was something that they also felt able to do. In terms of things that we're saying to the young folk is, we want them to really aim high with their course choices. You know, we want them to think that this is kind of a 4th, 5th and 6th year programme, and we want their portfolio courses to be as strong as they possibly can. They need to be thinking about the subjects that they've really enjoyed and done as well as they possibly can in this last year in 3rd year, and who they can build on and develop their strengths for that over the next 3 years. Starting to think about careers is sometimes a bit daunting. Some of our young folk have a clear idea, even in 3rd year, what they do want to go into. And sometimes that means that they might have to take courses that they know that they're going to need in terms of preparation for college or for university or for apprenticeships or employment. Other times where young folk have no idea what they want to talk, and then we would absolutely be urging folk to keep it as broad as you possibly can. You'll always be able to develop further skills in fourth, in fifth and sixth year, and there will be opportunities to pick up courses later on down the line. But if you're doing research into colleges and universities at the moment, it's really important to see if there's particular subjects that they are asking for. So using the My World of Work website, looking at college sites, looking at university sites, it's never too early to actually browse that. Really important, in fact, if there's definite things that they know that they want to go into. The sites are really good, they're really informative, and colleges and universities also welcome email inquiries for young folk who are on transition, as your young folk are at this time. So important to check out the courses, important to check out currency. I know that Derek will speak a wee bit later about things like foundation apprenticeships, which will come later on in an offer for your young folk in fifth and sixth year. But knowing what they're worth and what you're going to be able to do with them later on is all part of what we would be advising our young folk in school. So what we would say to them is keep things broad, do the things that you know you're really good at, and also keep checking their teams at the moment. The guidance staff are putting lots of information on their teams, encouraging them to look at different resources. So that would be the kind of things we'd be saying. Please contact the guidance staff if there's anything you're not sure about. Please keep looking at your teams. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Marlon. That's great. I'm now going to hand over to Kay, who's going to talk us through Skills Development Scotland and the offer they can give to our pupils.
Brilliant, thank you, Mr. Ewing. So I'm Kay, and I'm one of the careers advisors based in Kirkwall Grammar School. We have careers advisors right across all the schools in Orkney, all the secondary schools and junior high schools. I just put up a wee picture there, just because I'm sure quite a lot of folk will recognise where our main office is, down on Albert Street. So if anybody needs advice kind of as a adult, we deal with people over all ages, so we have that wee office on Albert Street, but we are Skills Development Scotland, and basically we're just the career service that covers the schools and all ages in Scotland. So I just wanted to kind of highlight a little bit, because you'll hear people talking about SDS and it's a bit confusing at times. So we are Skills Development Scotland, and we are the national skills body for Scotland. I think, have we gone on a slide too far, Mr. Ewing?
There we go.
There we go. Thanks. So it's just about, we're working in every state secondary school, and we deliver career information, advice and guidance from S1 to S6. So in Kirkwall Grammar School, we're very lucky that they've really invested in a kind of career path for young folk, and they want their students to start thinking about their career journey right from S1 through to S6. So we deliver classes in conjunction with the guidance staff, and the guidance teams have loads and loads of resources that back up kind of the career information, advice and guidance that we offer as well. We're trying to help young folk develop their career management skills. We also have a website that you can go on to as parents. It's called My World of Work, and there is a parent section on there. We also have another website called My Kids Career. So try not to get too confused. They're both really good. So My World of Work or My Kids Career, and they've got loads of resources on there about talking about different jobs and subjects needed for different jobs. So really, really good information right at the click of a finger for you to help your young people with if you need. And then just beyond school, I just showed you the office there. We work through the whole of Scotland in offices just on the high street, helping people of all ages. So the next slide, yep, here we are. So the core offer in school. So we have two offices in Kirkwall Grammar School. In S1 and S2, we start delivering group sessions, and again, that's in conjunction with the guidance staff at their PSE licence. And this is all starting to think about their career management skills based around the themes of knowing themselves, knowing their strengths, knowing their networks, which is the people that can help them, and knowing about their horizons. What are the options out there? And we think it's never too early to start them thinking about this process. In S2, all the S2s are offered a subject choice appointment one-to-one. And then we do that in S2 because they're dropping the most subjects at that point for going into the senior phases of school. And then from S3 to S6, we offer group sessions again, one-to-one appointments, and then a bit later on, so in S4, anybody starting to thinking about leaving school will get appointments, and we also deliver a school leaver programme. So at the moment, obviously, the group work learning has been kind of online, and we do things in conjunction with PSE and putting things on their teams. In S3, they're not automatically offered an appointment because they aren't considering leaving school at that stage, but anybody is welcome to an appointment if they need it, and that goes for parents and pupils. You can absolutely request appointments, and I'm doing some S3 appointments at the moment. There we go. So as we go into S4, your young people will get group sessions in PSE. This year probably would be done through Teams. There'll be further career-related sessions that the guidance staff do. So there's a career programme that they offer over about 3 weeks. We offer one-to-one appointments for the S4 pupils who are indicating that they want to leave school. It's really important that we help them figure out their horizons for beyond school and all the different options available to them. There is, I mentioned it before, the School Leaver programme, which is delivered in conjunction with a partner agency through the council in Orkney College called Developing the Young Workforce, and that this year is being delivered on Teams. We also offer one-to-one appointments for any young person that we might think we're not very sure if they're going to do anything when they leave school, or they've indicated that they don't have a preference of what they're going to do and they don't really have an idea what they want to do in the future. So we would automatically offer them an appointment to get them to start thinking about the process of what they might want to do in the future. We usually would do drop-in sessions for anybody. They would put their name down on the list with the librarian, or people would just drop in to see us. We're unable to do that at the minute, but people are very welcome to request an appointment. They can either email us, contact us directly, or speak to their guidance teacher, and they're always happy to pass on names to us.
Okay, Keith, thank you very much. That's super. I should apologise.
That's great. Thank you, Mr. Ewan.
It's me changing the slides, so any issues with the slide changing was all my fault, so I apologise for that.
It's okay.
Next we have Derek from Orkney College here to speak to us, and he's going to take us through the Orkney College offer. Hello, Derek, are you with us?
Apologies, Neil, my microphone was off.
Okay, I just wondered if you'd gone for your tea or you're giving up the ghost, you know.
Thinking about it.
Thank you. Just give me a shout when you'd like me to change slides, Derek.
Yeah, thank you, Neil. Just a warm welcome to you all from Orkney College UHI. We're part of the University of the Highlands and Islands, and my name is Derek Aiken. I'm the curriculum leader for the Health, Social Care and Education Department. But I'm going to give you an overall view of the provision for S4 pupils. Thank you, Neil. Next slide, please. Just a little bit about us. In terms of Orkney College, no, not one slide back, Neil, if that's okay. In terms of Orkney College UHI, it allows sort of pupils to personalise their learning pathway during the senior phase, and where possible, we're going to combine part of their week out of school at the college and build, hopefully, in certain courses, actually in the workplace. What I've included, and thanks for Neil for updating the slide this afternoon, if you go into the Orkney College UHI website, there's actually a large tab that says schools, and if you click on that, there's a diet of drop-down menus. There's a guide for parents, and there's information on each of the courses that I'm going to talk about shortly. Also, we've just updated the guide for parents, and the links included there. So that gives the brochure itself is options for all our senior phase students through S4, S5 and S6. So that gives you more detail. So that's all in the links. I'm assuming, Neil, everybody will get access to these slides?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Next slide, please. Okay, we're going to start with just looking at S4, and if we offer a diverse range of courses to suit a wide variety of needs, and it's just to build on what Marlon was sort of saying, is trying to find courses of interest that hopefully can build into S5 and possibly into S6. So I'm starting with the National 4 courses, and these are SEK 4 Level 4 and Skills to Work programs, and normally take place on Friday mornings. So this is across the curriculum areas. So we've got construction, craft and technician. We've got early learning and childcare, hairdressing, an introduction to bakery course, the National Progression Award in bakery, a mental health and wellbeing course, rural skills, coastal navigation, and sport and recreation. So it's quite a wide variety of different types of courses at National 4 level. Next slide, please, Neil. Okay, so at National 5, again, Friday mornings, you've got the National 5 courses in engineering, early learning and childcare, construction skills, mental health and wellbeing award, psychology, maritime skills, cyber security with games design, travel and tourism. So again, a diverse range at level 5. Next slide, please, Neil. It was just to include this slide actually in relation to hires. In S4, the majority of students will follow N4 and N5 programs. However, the option to study at higher level is available if this is viewed in the best interest of the individual pupil, and that will be taken in consultation with school, parents, etc. So some examples of hires that we deliver include higher care, higher childcare and development, higher psychology, and higher human biology. And they normally take place on Tuesday, sorry, that's actually wrong, it's Wednesday morning and Thursday afternoon. Next slide, please, Neil. These are just some of the contacts for ornithology, the generic contacts. So we've got our website page, and that's our main desk number, and also our email address for generic inquiries that can be fielded from our admin team. Next slide, please. I've also included and linked to the National 4 and National 5 courses direct links to the curriculum leaders in each of the areas. So if you're interested in a particular subject like bakery, for example, you can contact Anne Hill there. You've got her email address and her phone number. So that's all the contact details for the curriculum leaders in each of the course choices. I've not actually included the foundation apprenticeships because that's more linked to the Tuesday session, Neil, but I'm happy to sort of field any questions around that if people desire to. And that's the end of my information.
Thank you very much. What I'll do now is come out of the presentation, and then we can go to the screen to chat.
Hi Neil, I just wonder if you're noticing there's a question on the chat.
Okay, just give me a second. I've been on the... Give me a second. Can you see it there, Marlon?
Yeah, it's a question for Derek. Derek, I'll just read the question out for you. What's the difference, please, between Engineering National 5 at the college and Engineering Science at KGS?
Hello. Okay, in terms of, I can only really speak to Nat 5 engineering, although it's not my curriculum area. In the brochure, it does give you some background information. So the National 5 in engineering that we run is a Skills for Work course, and it provides a basis for progression into FE or for moving directly into training. The course focuses on the broad areas of mechanical, fabrication, electrical, electronic, maintenance, and includes design and manufacture. Entry requirements are typically 4 National 4s, including maths and English. I'm not too sure, if I'm being honest, about the engineering science at KGS. I'd have to leave that to Marilyn or Neil to field.
If I could come in there, I think the engineering at the college is much more hands-on. They've got much more access to old engines and other mechanical and engineering type resources, where it's more obviously in school. I suppose it's more book-based and online-based rather than working with actual engineering solutions, I suppose. That's the biggest difference. Now, as we go forward, if anybody has got any questions, I think we've got a hands up system that we can use on vScene, or just put a question in the chat and we'll go through it.
That question could be directed to Mark Shiner, who leads the engineering section at the college.
Has anybody got any other questions they'd like to ask? That's a really good question there about the columns. The columns are really for higher courses. So it's mostly for pupils going into 5th year and going into 6th year. It's a kind of hybrid system of the whole options, isn't that pupils going from 3rd year to 4th year more or less have a free choice. But at a higher level, in a lot of ways, there's fewer subjects, so I need to organise them into a column to make sure I can get everybody their hires. And the columns tend to stay the same year on year. And it means that pupils can plan around that as they go into their 5th year and go into their 6th year. So that's the reason why there's columns for higher courses and advanced higher courses, but not for National 5. Does that help? Any other questions? Now, I know that's probably a whistle-stop kind of tour through the options process, but you've got the guidance staff's emails, my email too. There's Derek and obviously Kay as well. We can all be contacted, and we're happy to answer any questions. I've recorded this presentation, so I'll put that either on the school website or link to it on the school website, and I'll put this presentation on the school website as well if folk want to go back through it, or there's something they didn't quite get and they want to see it again. For a couple of folk, I've said they've had technical difficulties, so it might be good then for them to be able to go through and see the presentation again. Kay, have you got something you're going to say?
I was just, you could see me just wondering there. I'm not sure if if on the slide I could see the contact for the careers advisors. Could I put that in the chat, or if people have a pen there, we've got a generic email address, which is just kirkwall@sds.co.uk. So kirkwall@sds.co.uk. And that'll come to a generic email address. If you just say that you're the parent of a child in Kirkwall Grammar School, and then it'll come to one of the advisors in KGS, and we can arrange to give you a phone at home, or speak to your child over Teams or something.
Okay, I think I've just typed that in the chat bar.
Oh,
so
brilliant, thank you.
Hopefully, so your email address will come up there, Kay. That's super, thank you.
Thank you.
Has anybody got anything else would like to to add or to ask? Anything else? Marlon, have you got anything you want to say just to finish off?
No, again, it's just to reiterate, please do get in touch. We don't want anybody home worrying about anything. Just a warm invitation just to phone or email at any time.
Okay, Kay or Derek, anything you want to add to what you said?
Just the same from the careers advisors, please get in touch with us. We're already speaking to S3 students and we'll be happy to speak to anybody else or parents and carers. So it's same as what Mrs. Firth's saying, please get in touch.
Yeah, just to reinforce that from Orkney College, please just get in touch. We can field your inquiries and give you some further advice and guidance on a one-to-one basis, no problem at all.
Okay, Derek, thank you. Thanks, Kay, as well, and to you, Marlon. So thanks, folks. That's really just to wrap up now. Thanks so much for joining and giving up your time to listen to what we had to say about options. We're really aware it's a difficult time for really everybody, but we know that it's extra tough for the kids being at home, trying to do their homework, and then going through the option process while we're not at school. So we're really, really keen, as everybody said. Any questions at all, please don't let your children worry at all, and just get them to get in touch with us, and we can answer any questions that they may have. So thank you very much for coming along, and we'll hopefully all see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you.